Hello again. I am back with new vocabulary words. These words go with lesson 1 in the textbook, and you will need 9 flashcards for this one. There are some words that are in the text, some words that are not, but all of them relate to the skills in lesson 1, which is to determine word meaning. So let's get started. You don't have to have different colors. I just made mine different so I could tell which ones to film at one time. So if yours are all white or all whatever, it doesn't matter. Mine are different because of the sections. But starting off, we're looking at the word inference. Inference. Can you hear the syllables in inference? There are 3. We have in, which is a word. Fur, it's not a word, but the word infer is a word. And ence. Inference. Mark your vowels. You have the I, the the E, and then an E there. And you have a silent E on the end. And an inference is an educated guess that, I'm sorry, I lost my place. An educated guess based on what you read and what you know. So you take what the author of a passage is telling you, and you put that with your life experience, the knowledge that you have by being an adult, and you come up with an educated guess about something, and that is called an inference. It is a noun. Okay, next word is homonyms. Homonyms. Hom, remember when the vowel is alone, it will very often say and nyms is that last syllable. So you have O, and Y as a vowel this time. Vowels can be A, E, I, O, U, sometimes Y. Homonyms are words, they're things, words that look the same but have different sounds and meanings. Okay, an example. And honestly, the only example that I can think of, I'm terrible with examples in word subjects. Math I can do all day, but in words I can't. Is this word. Is that sow or sow? It's both. Sow can mean a female pig, especially a mother pig. This came through my yard too. There's a daddy wild hog, he's a boar, and there's a mama, she's a sow. Sow can mean to plant, like to plant corn. It's a verb. So it can be a noun, a female pig, or to plant is a verb, but it looks exactly the same. Without hearing it, I don't know which version of the word is being used. Homonyms itself is a noun. I'll put that up here so we don't confuse it with homonyms, noun. Homophones, hopefully you notice the similarity. The first two syllables in these words are the same. It's the root word, or the root part, that is the difference. Homophones. So in this one I have O, and O. Homophones. Again, this is a noun. It's a thing. Words that sound the same but look different. And have different meanings. These can give you lots of trouble when you're writing. For example, break, which means to stop. That's a verb. Or break, which is also, it can be a verb, which means to shatter, to tear apart, to divide into two pieces. So if I'm writing, I need to know which spelling is correct for the meaning I'm trying to convey. Always look up homophones. If you're not sure, make sure before you write it down. There are lots and lots of homophones in the English language. Another example, you don't have to write this one down, but this is a common one. 8 can be the number 8, or 8 as in I swallowed food. Both of them sound the same, but they have very different meanings. Okay, one more thing about these two words that I want to call your attention to, because this is leading into the next term, I believe. This prefix, and we haven't defined that word yet, but we're about to. Homo means the same. Anywhere you see this prefix, something is the same. Now, the root word or root syllable, phones, or phone is actually the root, means sound. Anytime you see phone, think of sound. So same, sound, that's the meaning of the word homophones. So anytime I see homo, that's same. Phone is sound. Same sound. Okay, moving on. We have 6 more to do. And the next one is context clues. If you need to, stop this video and make these cards. That's fine. Okay, context clues. Let me break this into the sound spelling for you. Text, 2 vowels, 2 syllables. Clues. So I have an O, an E, and then the UE is there. Those vowels are side by side, so they will count as one sound. Context clues are nearby words, or phrases, that help you find the meaning of unfamiliar words, or let's say of an unfamiliar word. And when we get into lesson 1, we're going to practice these. Context clues. They help us figure out words we don't know. Context clues, that is an adjective. Context is an adjective with a noun. Clues. Adjective noun pair. Context is the adjective. Clues is the noun. Then I have synonyms. Nyms. Synonyms. We have a Y, an O, and a Y. Every syllable must have a vowel. Synonyms are words that mean the same or almost the same. This is a noun. And here's an example. Big and large. The same meaning or almost the same meaning. You want to take a guess what antonyms might mean. Antonyms. Words that have opposites meanings. It's a thing, so it's a noun. And here is an example. Big and little are antonyms. Okay, I want to jump down to the word root. So your next card will be root. And this is one syllable. We have 2 vowels joined together so they count as one. Root. A root is the word part that gives the word its meaning. Root is a noun. And here's an example. This is a huge word. Trans continental. Transcontinental. Transcontinental. That's 5 syllables. The root of this word is continent. And continent means a large landmass. We live on the continent of North America. So this word relates to a large landmass. That's the meaning of this big, long word, the essential meaning. Okay, let's go to prefix. 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 I have an E in the first syllable and an I in the second syllable. Prefix. A prefix is a word part added to the beginning of the root it does not change the spelling of the root. Let me add the word the. Prefix is a noun. It's a thing. And here's the example. I'm going to use transcontinental again. This is a social studies word, usually. Transcontinental. The prefix in this word is trans. And trans means across. Prefix is trans. Anytime I see trans, I think of across, crossing over. Okay. Here's the definition of suffix, and then we'll put all this together. Suffix has double F's, so I will divide between those consonants. Suffix. You and I. A suffix is a word part added to the end of a root and it may change the spelling of the root. Not always, but it can. A prefix will not change the root spelling. Suffix is a noun. And here's our example. Transcontinental. The suffix is the ul on the end. And this particular suffix means related to. Now, let me find a clean sheet of paper, or let me just insert a clean sheet of paper. Bear with me 1 second, and I'll show you how this goes together, which is the cool thing. This is why this can help us so much. You don't have to write this down. You can if you want to, but this is not a flashcard. The word is transcontinent. And with a suffix ul. Transcontinental. One of the uses of this word is transcontinental railroad. So what does it mean for a railroad to be transcontinental? Well, let's break it down. Here's the prefix. That means across or crossing over. Here is continent, which is a large land mass. I'm not talking about my neighbor's field. I'm talking about from the Atlantic Ocean all the way to the Pacific Ocean. A huge landmass. And then there's ul. That's the suffix. That means related to. So the word transcontinental means related to crossing over a large landmass. A transcontinental railroad is one that runs all the way across a continent. Here's another example of a prefix-suffix root. Transportation. Transportation, which you've probably heard of before. What comes to mind when you think of transportation? We know that trans means crossing over. Every time I see it, it will mean crossing over. Port, that's the meaning, that's the root right there. Excuse me, means to move from one place to another. Or let's just say to move. It really doesn't matter about the place. And then shun is your suffix. Shun means related to. So transportation is related to moving across something. It could be moving across the city. It could be moving across the country. It could be moving across the ocean. It's just moving across something. So if you know your prefixes and your common suffixes, you can usually figure out words that you are going to encounter. And as we get into the lesson, I will give you a list you can look at, or print a list from the internet of common prefixes and suffixes. That would be a really good thing to make flashcards on as well. Okay, I think that was all of our flashcards for this lesson. That's plenty. Remember to study not only these, but the ones we made in the first, before the course even started. Keep practicing every day, and you will develop that reading vocabulary that we desperately want to develop. It will help you, I promise. Have a good day, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.